grew up in Houston, Texas. I lived in many different states all around the country before. I came to Montgomery County about 26 years ago, and I was working with different national Asian American civil rights organizations. And when I started my family, I also became active in the county.
I was born and raised in Montgomery County. I went to Montgomery County Public Schools and started with the police department as a police explorer at around age 15. And really, this is all I've ever wanted to do. And 27 years later, I'm now serving as assistant chief.
I grew up in a very diverse area of Rockville, and often, people view Asian Americans as being this monolith, but we're not. And so I guess a part of me was frustrated with how Asian Americans were viewed and how we were viewed as this quote unquote model minority.
Our mission is to unite progressive Asian American students in Montgomery County, specifically around Asian American rights and racial justice.
Asian American Pacific Islanders have been in the United States for 6 generations. We hail from all countries around Asia. There are 48 of them, and speak over 100 languages. So in that sense, we're like a quilt.
Every community in Asian Americans, we're not speaking for one another, and we all have our own different struggles, and one group does not represent the other group. So often people view Asian Americans as this model minority group, but often look into East Asia, but East Asia is not representative of Southeast Asia, and Southeast Asia isn't representative of East Asia.
Even though we kind of tend to see the AAPI community as a very monolithic group that all performs very well, both in education and in terms of socioeconomic status, but that just really isn't the case for a lot of members of our community. And I wish that people knew a bit more about that, especially when it comes to educational settings.
Learning about any of our communities and cultures, in particular the AAPI community, is what do we collectively bring to the table? What's our cultural experiences? What's our knowledge? How can we add and better society? And I think the more that any of us can take the time to learn about one another, the better off we'll all be. So taking this moment now as we recognize the AAPI community in this time of our calendar is maybe just a great moment to reflect and ask a question.
We are one Montgomery.